anyone else get a massive hangover after reading this book? Because it was just so good. If you're one of those people, like myself, I am here to give you 7 recommendations of books that might just help to heal the pain that Demon has left. If you're unfamiliar with Demon Copperhead as a book, this is like one of the best books ever written. Go get yourself a copy. It's awesome. So, what should you read after you've read Demon Copperhead by Barbara Kingsolver? Is there anything that will scratch that itch? Possibly. So, the first thing you could do is pick up another Kingsolver. Sounds simple, but I would recommend the Poisonwood Bible. That's actually the only other Kingsolver I have read, but it was equally fabulous. This one follows 4 sisters who moved to the Congo with their father on a religious mission, and it's about their experience, and you get all 4 sisters' perspectives, and the difference in tone of voice between these 4 girls as the story progresses is so expertly done, and you learn to love some of the sisters very, very much, some of them not so much, and it really looks at the impact of colonialism in the Congo and how white people have sort of tried to basically insinuate that they know what's best for a country that isn't theirs. Yeah, it's pretty eye-opening about what happened in the Congo with Belgian occupation and how certain ethnicities take it upon themselves to fix it. So yes, highly recommend. I think you will definitely feel that Kingsolver expert writing from that book. The other thing you might want to do after you've finished Demon is to understand the opioid crisis in America a little better, and there is no better book for you than Empire of Pain by Patrick Radden Keefe. In this, Radden Keefe looks in pretty minute, pretty granular detail at the Sackler family who mismarketed and caused the opioid crisis in America, how that happened, what they did, what they didn't do, and the scale of the problem. We see opioid addiction in Demon Copperhead quite frequently, and this really helped me to understand how it affected people on the ground. But when you read Empire of Pain, you understand the scale and the severity of the problem, and it is mind-blowing in the worst possible way. So I would highly recommend that if you're looking just to understand that situation in the States a little better. If what you loved about Demon was the epicness, I mean, it's not a small boy, is it? It's quite a chunky boy. And if you're looking for that, like just getting completely engrossed in a massive, epic, awesome story, then look no further than Lonesome Dove by Larry McMurtry. This book is epic on all scales. It is actually longer than Demon Copperhead by a couple of hundred pages, but it has that epic scale, and it has those characters that you'll fall in love with, those characters that are morally grey, but that you still love regardless of the fact that they keep doing stupid stuff. And yeah, I couldn't recommend it highly enough. It was my favourite book of last year, and yeah, basically you're missing out if you haven't read it. So that will definitely help fill the demon-shaped hole in your heart. As you may or may not know, Demon Copperhead was longlisted, shortlisted, and then won the Women's Prize for Fiction this year, very justly. And if you're looking for other books that have been nominated for the Women's Prize that are really super special and going to leave a lasting impression on your heart, then I think you should pick up Careless by Kirsty. Careless was longlisted in 2022. Couldn't remember what year we were on for a minute there, soz. And this follows a young girl, Bess, who is a teenager in care and finds herself pregnant. And that may not sound like your cup of tea. It didn't really sound like my cup of tea, but the way that it's written is like, it's like hitting you over the head with a hammer. You just don't expect it, you don't see it coming, and you just root for Bess from the beginning to the end of this story. There is a best friend character in here who is also fantastically written, And I think it shines a light on the care system, which is also a key theme in Demon Copperhead. And so I think you will really, really enjoy Careless if you enjoyed Demon Copperhead. At its heart, Demon Copperhead is a coming of age story. So I couldn't give you a list of recommendations that didn't include a coming of age story. And the one I have chosen also has very strong themes of poverty in America and the effect that that can have on a child as they grow up, particularly through adolescence. And that book is Nightcrawling by Leila Mottley. This was longlisted for the Booker last year and was written by the youngest author ever to be nominated by the Booker. This is heartbreaking, really difficult read. So I'm guessing if you read and enjoyed Demon Copperhead, you're okay with that. But this follows a young girl. She is trying to take care of herself. Her older brother is being an idiot. Her parents are absent. There is a little boy in her building that she's trying to care for, and she doesn't have enough money for rent. And she is forced down roads that no young teenage girl should be forced down. And it looks at exploitation of young black women. It looks at police violence, and it looks at racial inequality in America, as well as poverty and coming of age. And so, yeah, it covers a lot of very serious issues, similarly to Demon. And so I think if you liked one, you will definitely like the other. Now, if you're not new, you'll know that one of my favourite things to say about Demon Copperhead is that it's the best written first-person narration I've ever come across. And I do stand by that. But if you love a first-person narrative, I would also recommend A Tale for the Time Being by Ruth Ozeki. This is actually dual perspective, though both are in first person. And we are following a writer who finds a diary, effectively, and a young girl who is writing said diary. The young girl, Naoko, lives in Japan, and it is her story of growing up, so another coming of age story, and experiencing some very difficult things in her life, bullying, difficulties with her parents. I don't really want to tell you too many of the themes because they would be spoilers, but again, a very, very difficult read, but so well written, and particularly the sections that are narrated by Naoko. Even though she is a teenage girl and you think that might be annoying, it's not. Similarly to Demon, you think, like, you know, he's a kid when he's narrating a lot of this, but it's so well written, it never really jars you. Tale for the Time Being is the same. So yes, you should definitely give that one a whirl. And then the last book I'm going to recommend to you is, if you loved Demon because you just love characters that stay in your heart forever and ever and ever and never leave, then the book I would recommend is The Art of Racing in the Rain by Garth Stein. And so this book, bear with me, is narrated by a dog, Enzo. But if you just love excellent characters, Enzo is so brilliantly written. If you think animal narrators are not for you, I really think you should give this one a go. It's heartbreaking. Obviously, if you don't like dogs, then that's probably not the book for you. But if you don't like dogs, why don't you like dogs, man? Honestly. And this is about a dog whose owner is a race car driver and goes through a lot of things in his life, and you see his life through Enzo's eyes as he gets married, has children, things maybe don't go so well for him, and how this dog sort of supports him through this whole journey until the end of the book. I won't say anything more, but I think we all know how dog books end. So yes, but Enzo is absolutely a character that will stay with me forever. He's so funny and just so lovable. Who couldn't love Enzo? If you don't love Enzo, you are heartless, I tell you. So yes, so those are the 7 books that I would recommend to fill the demon-shaped hole in your heart. And I will leave my review for Nightcrawling here for you if you're interested, and I will catch you all very soon with another one. Bye guys.